Hello guys, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muzammil and today I'm going to be your English instructor. Okay, so basically, like today we are going to we are going to start with imaginative art. Okay, we are gonna start with imaginative writing. Now, excuse my writing, basically it's my and don't seldom write this. I seldom write on screens or everything. I mostly write on paper on the board. Imaginative writing. Basically, imaginative writing is concerned with your imagination. Any story or anything which you construct through your senses, imaginations, and thoughts, this is your imaginative writing. So imaginative writing is a creative writing because and in this it's a sort of a craft where you invent or imagine situations, characters, context, and storylines. Okay, so basically you do this all. Okay, now it doesn't matter. So what happened in the events in the opening passage actually happened or not? You just need to show your skills. It doesn't matter that it happened really or it didn't happen at all. Okay, it doesn't matter. You just have to construct your story with the help of your thought. Okay? So basically, an imagination writing, or even if I call it a story writing, I won't be wrong. So there needs to be a some sense of description. Okay, there needs to be some description, some subtle and some literal description needs to be there. Okay, some description is so that the writer is hooked to the okay, so that the writer is hooked to the basically you describe something, add to something. So now let's discuss. Here is a story which I'm discussing at the moment. Okay, the story basically is the traveler's account. So it is his writing. See, he had retreated. Okay, the sea had retreated, and then it continued miles out to the bay. Into the bay, then it continues into the bay, then it revealing the muscle beds, okay, revealing the muscle beds. 1 minute. This way, you basically now the writer. I don't know if he did face this, if he did see these things, but he can construct these situations. Okay, so basically, this way we write a story, revealing the muscle beds, Then like charcoal sticks, like charcoal charcoal sticks. So basically, there is some sense of description to like this is a description of this scene. This is an imaginative writing along with a descriptive essay. So it's a combination of this, revealing the charcoal sticks against the gray skyline. Okay? Against the gray skyline. This way, we basically write the whole entire story. Not the whole entire story, but this is a way to write a story. So the sea had retreated miles out into the bay, revealing revealing the mussel beds like charcoal sticks sticking against the gray skyline. See, basically, this way we imagine a situation. We use our creativity. Okay, what did we do? We basically used our creativity. Now let's progress further. Now, basically, there are some elements of effective writing. Okay, so I will teach you how to describe something or anything, but there are some elements of a descriptive writing. Okay, one second. So basically, what we are going to do is like we need to consider five things. Okay, we are going to consider five things. The five things that are going to be our style, and another thing is going to be your style. Another thing is, let me share the screen there. It's very inconvenient to write here. 1 minute. There are these elements of the effective writing. So one thing is your form, another thing is your content, another thing is your audience, another thing is your style, and fifth thing is your structure. So basically, in the beginning, like creative writing takes its first breath. When the writer asks, what can I create of a particular feeling, image, experience, or a memory? Like, what can I create of a particular feeling? Like, if I'm sad, what can I create out of it? Like, if I need to write a story on humor, what can I create out of this feeling? What sort of story will I create? And then the image, experience, or memory. If I saw a certain image like a beach where there were a lot of birds and everything, so I can plot a perfect descriptive essay. Also, if I saw that there was like a man who administers the horses and everything, uh, anything you see there, you can do this thing. Another thing is, or if you are feeling really happy there, jovial, or if you are feeling like there's something like the weather is very hot, you're feeling tired and dehydrated. So what can you create out of this? The image. Image is concerned with basically like anything. Let me explain it to you. The image of, for instance, the gardens. Okay. So now what can you describe these gardens? How can you describe the experience? Like you experience a very rude behavior, experience despotism, tyranny, you experience kindness. You can try create a story. Or you are given a topic, like explain the topic concerning the tyranny. So you can basically explain the plight of Palestinians, okay? You can experience that. unions and therefore a forced expulsion from their homes. Okay. Another thing is memory. Okay. So what was your memory? Like you had a very good day where you got full marks. Okay. This is the beginning. And the purpose. It carries out writer's compelling desire, or it could be to imagine, invent, explore, or share. Okay. The form. Any form using a writer's imagination is like, for example, poetry is an expression of creativity. Essays, character sketches, like you can explain some character sketches are concerned with explaining a character. And short fiction, anecdotes. Anecdotes are short stories, okay? Play scripts, songs, parodies, reminiscences. Reminiscences are basically, um, okay, and historical fiction. Okay, so now let me give you an example, like poetry, several poetries of Milton. Like even you can take a season to season and you can describe it through a poetry. Essays, like you can read George Orwell's essays, like where he describes his ideas of socialism and how pathetic the linguistic forms of English, like how pathetic the English language has been made by some of our writers. Okay, or you can even see the character sketches. I would add here as some sort of reviews, okay, reviews and critical essays by like T.S. Eliot, okay, and anecdotes, plays, scripts like Shakespeare's plays and songs, parodies, reminiscences, historical. A specific audience may not be known in the beginning, and each situation is different. Basically, a specific audience I can and later I can evolve it, change it, okay? And then the audience, the style. There are different styles, okay, of writing. There are different styles of writing to evoke different feelings and ideas and thoughts. Basically, you need to be concerned with, and even if you write an imaginative essay or anything, you need to be concerned with the purpose, organization, form, unique style. You need to have your own unique style. If you deviate from the traditional style, it's more appreciated, okay? Given that it's not that like or like destroying the essence of a story. And the form, as I discussed, is like basically using a writer's imagination is suitable for some element of fiction. And then another thing is unique style. I'm discussing styles with you too. Okay. So let me show you an excerpt. Like this is an excerpt of Jane Eyre. Elizabeth's impatience to appoint Jane. Okay, let's make it a bit easy. Elizabeth's impatience. Acquaint Jane. Acquaint means to make someone aware of something. What had happened to no longer be overcome, and at length resolving to suppress every particular in which her sister was concerned and preparing her to be surprised, she related to her the next morning that, oh, sorry. It's of Pride and Prejudice. My apologies. It's of Pride and Prejudice. At first I saw Jane, so I was like, I thought it's Jane Eyre, but after reading it, it's Pride and Prejudice. Elizabeth's impatience to acquaint Jane with what had happened could no longer be overcome, and at length, resolving to suppress every particular in which her sister was concerned and preparing her, she related to her the next morning the chief of the scene between Mr. Darcy and herself. Basically, she could not control herself and she wanted to tell her sister like what happened between Mr. Darcy and herself. Okay, at length resolving to suppress every particular in which her sister was concerned. Miss Bennet's astonishment was soon lessened by the strong sister partiality which made any admiration of Elizabeth appear perfectly natural, and all surprise was lost in others. She was sorry that Mr. should have delivered so little suited to recommend them, but still she was grieved for them, which her sister's refusal had given him. His being so sure of succeeding would have appeared, but consider how much it increased his disappointment. Indeed, replied Elizabeth, I'm heartily sorry for him, but he has other feelings which will be soon driven away, driven away his regard for me. You don't blame me, however, for choosing me. Basically, it's a situation that Elizabeth sort of rejected Mr. Darcy. Coming to the main point, Mr. Darcy was a rich guy. Okay, they wanted many people in the society there wanted to marry him. Okay, wanted their daughters to establish the relationship. Okay, so could no longer be and at length resolving to suppress every particular in which her sister was concerned. Okay, every reason why her sister was concerned, every particular in which her sister means in every way, in every reason her sister was concerned, and preparing her to be surprised. Okay, and she relates to her next morning was lessened by the strong sisterly partiality which made any admiration of Elizabeth appeared perfectly natural, and all surprise she was lost in other feelings. She was sorry that Mr. Darcy, in a manner so less suited to recommend them, but still she was at at which her sister's refusal had given him. This was the situation. This is how you basically write this, and this is not an essay. Electronics is an important sign, potential difference, concept of physics. Okay, where we move the charges. So these are essays. So this is all created here. This is a poem. There isn't time with all mountain tops to climb. Okay, uncertainties and everything. So these are basically things. So basically, you need to take care where you need to first of all think of a title which is given in your A-level exam. Form your ideas, the time you are taking. Okay, so basically, there are some things which you need to consider. Okay. Verbosity. Verbosity means which is when you use more words than are necessary. Like when you use excessive words, now it becomes redundant. Okay. It basically becomes redundant. This redundancy causes the boredom, okay, amongst the reader. So he doesn't want to read your story anymore. Repetition. If you repeat the idea constantly, it becomes very odd and boring. Okay. Pedantry. Okay. You use highly complex sentences and difficult words. Okay. So it will be very hard to catch up. Okay. Like why in present day classical rarely read? Because of this pedantry. Because many words have changed the want of easier words. Okay. So that is why nowadays pathetic books like Twilight are mostly read. Periphrases or circumlocution. Like you basically drag. Basically, see what does this circumlocution mean? Circumlocution means to circle something. Okay, this means to circle something. And in the English language, it means to say something in a way that you use a lot of words instead of fewer words to make an idea more vague. When an idea becomes more vague or unclear, it is not right. Archaic. Let me tell you a word like, for example, obscurity. Now, this is an archaic word. Okay, this is an archaic word. Okay, now another word, whisk. Now it's used, but it was more like archaic. Okay, it was more like archaic. Another word, whisk. This means unconcerned. Whisk. Although there's a concept of neologisms where they changed it, but I was just giving you an example. Previously, it was archaic. Nowadays, it's used. Okay, now archaic. Another word is like aforesaid. Okay, or maybe let me think. Now these words are not used. See, time, how, these words are no longer used. They are considered archaic. Okay, you don't use these words. You learn these in linguistics, and these are used in classical literature. Sorry, Elizabethan literature mostly, but nowadays they are archaic. Colloquialism. Colloquialism basically Words which are used in familiar conversations, these should try to avoid them. And some are words are slangs, okay, cool, dude, damn, okay, and something like OMG, oh my gosh. These words are slangs. Okay? And then there are Indianism, translating the idioms and expressions of Indian languages literally. Okay, where you try to translate that. Let me tell you an idiom. Like it's a proverb, but I guess it's a proverb. Maybe I'm not that good. I know my language very well, but I'm not sure. Like sar pe chढ़ाना. This is a Urdu proverb or idiom. I don't know. Sar pe chढ़ाना. This means to spoil someone. Okay? This means to spoil someone. But now if you translate it literally, like this is a Urdu okay, if you translate it literally, it would be it would be to lift to the head. To lift to the head. Now if this happens, basically to lift head. One, hello, hello. Sorry, actually my microphone had some issues. Inshallah, it will work. To lift to head. Now, if you translate this literally, is it a correct idiom? Is it a correct translation? Like I should be saying to spoil someone, where I'm saying to lift head to the head. This is wrong. So basically, when you translate it literally, na, it's Indianism. And another thing is metaphors, comparing a thing to two or more things. Like words which don't convey precise meaning, okay? Like good, awfully. You should be using like astonishing, splendid, glittering, okay, instead of good night. Okay, now see. Basically, so creativity is concerned. Now let's read some things which is a good one. Story. Story, basically, this is a story, right? Here are some elements. First of all, these are some excerpts. Basically, let me tell you some things before moving to it. 1 minute, okay? Basically, I need some I need to take these pages. Actually, everyone is mostly aware that there is one thing is just right here. So the pages are saved. One thing is your beginning, which could be your setting. Okay, that's your setting. Another thing is plot. Then is your first thing is your plot. Sorry, setting. Second thing is your plot. Then lastly, you have your as plot. Then you have your climax within the plot, and then you have your resolution, where the climb problem is solved. Resolution or cliffhanger. Okay, resolution or cliffhanger. Now let's learn it in detail. Okay, now this is uh, this, um, This story. Okay, let's progress further. Now, this is a story. It was a hot afternoon. Okay, this is the setting. And the railway carriage was correspondingly sultry. What was it? Sultry. Okay, sultry means hot and humid. Okay, sultry, humid. Something that is attractive. Okay, so basically, it was hot and humid. And the next stop was a temple comb. Now another thing. Nearly an hour ahead, the occupants of the carriage were a small girl, a smaller girl, and a small boy. An aunt belonging to the children occupied one seat, and the further corner seat on the opposite side was occupied by a bachelor. Bachelor means who is not married, who was a stranger to their party. But the small girl and the small boy emphatically occupied the compartment. Basically, railway carriages and everything have a compartment. So, emphatically occupy means forcefully. Emphatic means after a emphatically occupied the compartment. Hello. Oh God, Lamia. Oh, emphatic means both the aunt and children were conversational in a persistent way, reminding one of the attentions of a housefly that refuses to be discouraged. Most of the aunt's remarks basically how like, oh, they're not purpose, avoid to make the fire high away. It is very persistent. It never leaves. Okay. So most of the aunt's remarks seem to begin with don't, and nearly all of the children's remarks begin with why. Basically, this is shown that it's limited. In what way? That she says don't. It's persistent that this continues. This strife continues. Okay. The bachelor said out nothing loud. Don't, Cyril, don't, exclaimed the aunt as the small boy began smacking the cushions of seat, smoke producing a cloud of dust. Basically, when you hit something dusty, the dust rises. Okay, come and look out of the window, she added. The child moved reluctantly to the window. Why are these sheep being driven out of that field? I expect that they are driven to another field where there is more grass. But there is a lot of grass in that field. There's nothing else but grass. There is a lot of grass in that field. They had the grass in the other field. Better suggested the auntie fatuously. Okay, she suggested what fatuously. You need to use these words. That is why I've chosen this. Okay, fatuously means stupidly. Okay, without any careful thought. Okay, something that is foolish. Fatuously. Why is it better? Came the swift, inevitable, unavoidable question. Who are these cows? Exclaimed the aunt. Nearly every field along the line had contained cows of bullocks, but she spoke as though she were drawing attention to a rarity. Although there were a lot of cows, every field they had cows, but she was saying it in a way that they were rare. They were not mostly present in other field. In that specific field, they were present. So this means as though she were drawing attention to the to a rarity. Why is the grass in the other now bachelor's field was deepening to a scowl? He was a hard, unsympathetic man, the aunt decided. He was utterly unable to come to any conclusion about her. This small girl in a divergent, like distracting things. On the road to Mandalay, she only knew a limited knowledge to the possible use. He repeated the line over and over in a dreamy but resolute and very audible voice. It's as though bachelor, as though someone had a bet with her. These are also used. Has had, have. Okay, with her that she could not repeat the stopping. This is an important. Okay, uh, hyperbole. It's a hyperbole. Sort of whoever it was who made the music. Like that someone here and listen to a story when the bachelor looked at her the car is getting too long. Basically, these are to read the story, okay? So this way you understand. Now I cannot tell the whole story, okay? It's so long. Now let's another. Now progressing to the story, I often try to avoid the violent stories because they are very disturbing and like you don't like them. But for the sake of expression learning, I'm telling a story of Poe. Edgar Poe. I don't prefer them. Okay. Basically, I'm just trying to impart the expression. Oh God. I just don't want to watch it. Yeah, I hope it's better. But well, it's short, so we should like go with it. Bismillah. Our world, our is a world of words. Poet we call, quiet we call silence, which is the merest word of all. Now see, listen to me, said the demon as he placed his hand upon my head. There is a spot upon this accursed earth, okay? You can use another word which is cursed, okay? This is a synonym to this. Which thou hast, which thou hast. Hast means has, okay? Thou means basically you, okay? Thou means you. It's an archaic word. Means have never yet, you have never yet beheld, okay? Beheld, and then it means beheld means seen, okay? And if by any chance you have had beheld, saw it, observed it, it must have been in one of these vigorous dreams which came like the simoon upon the brain of her who has lain down to sleep among the forbidden sunbeams. Among the sunbeams, I say, we slide from of the seldom columns of the melancholy temples in the wilderness, the region of which I speak is the dreary region in Libya by the borders of river Zaire, and there is no quiet there nor silence. Now try to understand it. Basically, there's a demon who is saying, "Oh God, this poor guy, goodness." There is a spot upon this accursed earth which you has never yet seen. And if by any chance you beheld it, okay, if by any chance you had seen it, so basically, if he's saying that if you had by any chance seen it, so basically, then it says it must have been into one of those Vigorous means active dreams, can connote violence too. Okay, vigorous can connote a positive thing or negative too. Active, Simone like the Simone. Basically, Simone is a strong high wind. Okay, Simone is a strong high wind. And that's okay. Is on. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, causing problems. So basically, he says, "Listen to me," said the demon, and he plays the head. And so this suggests that demon is trying to be a sort of person who is just like trying to be a guide and in fact, human enemy. Allah is already found. There is a spot of cursed earth. There's a specific place in this accursed earth which you have never seen yet beheld. Okay, if there's any chance you had beheld it, it must have been one vigorous tree. Okay, if you had by any chance read been uh, recently through the dream, thus laden wind. Okay, the moon is a strong, thus laden wind upon the brain of a sleeper who has lain down to sleep among the forbidden sunbeams. Okay, among the sunbeams, okay, forbidden sunbeams. So what does this forbidden sunbeams mean? There are certain things. See, now try to understand it. Every writer has his own expression. Okay, so this is an expression of very the beams which fall like they are forbidden. Okay, you shouldn't have fallen asleep there. Among the sunbeams I say which slide free of the solemn columns of Solemn means formal. Melancholy means sadness in the wilderness. Okay, the region of which I speak is a dreary region in the Libya, and or besides the border of River Zaire, there's no quite basic is the setting of it. With the setting of what is the setting of what is the how does the word feel? Sorry, smiles. I had written that. All right. Okay, so this is the setting of this story. This is the setting of this case. Allah. And then another thing is this. The waters of the river to sea. There's a description. Saffron means saffron red. Specifically you are shade when they do not want, but palpitate forever. Remain palpitate means pulse is forever. Now, it commences in conversion. There are many ways that this then you shouldn't read this. I don't like this story. I just found this extremely descriptive. Okay, the water have a thrill and feel you, they flow but palpitate, convulse, tumultuous means some sort of difficult thing, okay? And also there is a tumultuous means, let me think. Tumultuous, like in a, like not in an order, okay? Convulsive and tumultuous means something that doesn't move in an order. And river's oozy bed is a pale desert of gigantic water lilies. They sigh one unto that other. Solitude and stretched towards heaven, their long, ghastly necks. Okay, this basically describes the flower, water lilies. Basically, it sigh one onto other. Their necks are so long that heaven. Okay, this one of the second sigh one there. Okay, so basically, this is what the things are. And the subterranean water is which travels under, like, okay, which travels like in sort of, let me explain to you in a way that uh, subterranean means some is underground, so it must be underground. Okay, you should confirm, but you should confirm it. So this is how you basically understand the story. Describe it, okay? And another story is, let's discuss the, this way basically you write a story. Let's elaborate on another thing. Now, plot. Plot is basically the main body of a story. Okay. Plot is the body of a story where you describe what happens in the story. Okay, and then you reach a climax. Climax is the main point. Climax is the main point of a story. Climax is where, like for example, let's take an example. Like the story is the same. It begins with a setting. This is the model's name, which I cannot remember, but you can check in the syllabus breakup. Basically, this is a setting. Okay, this is the setting. Then the plot moves. Okay, and then you begin to wind up game and you resolve it. Like the wind up to reach its maximum point at sort of a time. So let's take Snow Snow White was a good daughter of she had Italian mother and everything was quite significant. Not because like is like sang to wilderness as mother, queen, believe, singing by the dwarves, and then there is they, she fed by them, and there what happened later her mother, which who came to her and gave poisonous apple down to same time later time. She's about to die. Now comes the prince who saves her. The story has been so so basically, these are some elements of the story. Now, let me tell you some more. Mm, now you need to be free. You need to learn the three, four more things. Okay. You need to be unreal. And okay, you need to check. Like you need to be limited. Okay, and need to be omni. Okay. These are some of the things which matter the most. Straight eggs model, I guess. I don't remember the name properly. So now let's understand this code here. Oh, there is no option of a story. Okay, that's sad. Let me search other examples. Okay, another example of the description within the stories are another example. Oh God, another. Let's see. Jane Eyre descriptive essay paragraphs. These are some of the although the description did not, but you need to ensure that these things work out. I discovered too that the great pleasure and enjoyment with the horizon only bounded lay all outside the high and spike guarded walls of our garden. Okay, basically high and spike guarded. This pleasure consisted in the prospect of noble summits girdling a great hill hollow rich in verdure and shadow. Okay, these are basically your descriptive, where you use a lot of adjectives, figurative languages, figurative figures of speech, sorry, and try to understand it. Okay, one, let me put it here so that I can discuss with you in detail. Well, now I remember this is basically Tags model. This is basically Tags model of imaginative writing. Now, this thing, okay, so this thing read which horizon only bounded. Okay, so basically, okay, one. So when she had come to teach somewhere, now she had was living in a big mansion, big house. It has spike guarded walls, okay, and summits, okay. So this pleasure consisted in basically she wanted to go out of her house. And summit means high points of something. Okay, mountain. This is a type of mountain. Okay, so it's a point on a mountain which is higher compared to the adjacent one. It's a peak which is higher. Okay, summit generally means top, apex, peak. Okay, of noble summits girdling. Okay, girdling a hill hollow. Girdling basically means, try to understand, like a ring bar. Okay, basically, there is a circle something. Okay, to circle something like a see, basically girdle. Girdling is a process where there is a bark around the logs of trees. When you remove that bark, you basically are doing girdling. So it's like encircling. Okay, it's a sort of circumferential removal. Okay, so basically, this girdling thing means okay, girdling thing means what? Circling. Okay, a great hill hollow. Hill hollow means basically try to understand it. Hill hollow का मतलब a hill hollow means space. Okay, cavity. Okay, so basically they surround a like somehow like a valley. Okay, like it happens in a valley or something. Let me show you hill hollow. Okay. Um, These are hills. Sorry, I didn't know its definition. That is why I didn't wasn't able to tell you properly what hill hollow is. Basically, this is hill hollow. Oh yes. If this way, okay. It's off this way, okay. Or it could be a cavity, a hole, something like this. Rich in verdure and shadow. Okay, verdure means basically forests are verdure. Okay, verdure means like fresh vegetation, greenish vegetation. Okay. Okay, this is greenish vegetation. Now let's progress further. In a bright beck. In a right back. Back basically means something. Okay. Back basically means, let me explain it to you. Back is a stream of water, a small river which moves. Okay. Back, right back, full of dark spoons and sparkling eddies. Eddies basically move in water surfaces in a spark and a sparkling eddies. How different when still as that. They still as that. Enter to the impulse of each wind along those purple peaks and rolled down home they blended with the frozen fog. This is a bit complicated. Basically, we still as from that. Okay, okay. Miss, miss, these names are basic. They originate from east and blow in the western side. Long purple peak. Okay, then so basically when they get along and something like inshore and highly low. Home in they landed with the property was the return. They made a side of the side. Celebrate and very things often taken with wild. Basically, the sound of film intensity by wild whirling, okay, whirling, it basically means it means basically this is how you find. Okay, another easier thing is there were grass covered traditions as far as we could see, not like CGI Vermilion, but a whole palette of beaches and rusty reds with only hints of yellowy green at the roots, as if it were pebble black and evergreen fields hidden in the night. Basically, basically, this is how I could describe. I think we basically we try to try to oh sorry, my point. Okay, now see this story. Oh dear, there is no story. One minute. And now, what can I do this with this thing that happened? Happened now. Oh yeah, why did I open the M marking scheme? Here. Oh my goodness, why am I doing these mistakes repeatedly? I should be opening paper too. Alhamdulillah. Now, this is a story. How did that happen? About a holiday which didn't go according to your plan, and your writing create a sense of anticipation and drama right between 600 and 900 words. Now, how will we write this story? Okay, how did that happen? What a holiday didn't go according to plan. It was according to the plan. Writing, creation, and drama. Basically, how the big happened. Yeah, let's tell for the move one. Now, let's begin with what shall I? Even if I take this setting, it could work. Okay, but we should create our own work. Okay, let's take an example of there was there was the morning now. It was the morning finally after a lengthy travel. So we thought it was morning. Let's try to do very difficult, right? Long travel words or a long travel had exhausted us. Finally, camp in a mountain, in the pitch dark night. Moon hang low in the sky. Pitch dark night. Moon hang. The crescent hang low in the sky. Was low in the sky, veiled by the veiled by the dark clouds found it as the pearlescent moon gradually ascended itself horizon. sun filled its hues of yellow and golden, slanting light of moon came into spreading sunlight. We woke up as the day was welcomed by, as the day was welcomed by chirping birds. If we can use a more stronger imagery, I'm just giving a certain example, okay? Shall we make it better? Okay, let's make it a bit better, okay? As the sun spilled golden hues on the sky, we woke up. After a lengthy travel, we needed a good night's sleep was and bestowed to us by the nature. Yesterday, there was a recent moon out here. After a lengthy travel, I should have added a comma here. After a lengthy travel, we needed a good night's sleep. Needed bestowed to us good night's sleep. Now by the, yeah, I should, by nature. Yesterday, there was a recent moon shone like a medallion, shone like a medallion amid the a dark hollow place. Like an Arab, like a veiled Arab lady, moon was made partially visible by the clouds. Okay, was this again, again yesterday there was a recent moon. Hmm. The crescent moon shone like a medallion amid the, oh, what's wrong with it? Yesterday, the crescent moon shone like a medallion amid the dark, hollow ball of the universe, like a veiled Arab lady. Moon was made, moon was made partially visible. The moon, I mean, was barely visible because of the dark clouds surrounding. Okay. So this way you begin with an introduction. Okay, we camped in the mountains of For example, Kyrgyzstan, oh sorry, it's correct. Kyrgyzstan, surrounding summits stood beautifully trying to reach the heavens as the celestial bodies circle orbited the sky. I guess it's the heavens, trying to reach the heaven. Now you can add some of these descriptive sentences. Okay, now you can add some of these descriptive sentences. Like you can add these. Okay, now for instance, you added these. Although you shouldn't, I'm just giving an example. Okay, Grammarly is not even happy with Jane. Okay, well, Grammarly never happy with even a writer like Charlotte Brown. Okay, so this way you can give a setting of the story. Now you can give the plot. Now you can give the plot. The plot would be what happened. First of all, you'll say why you keep camp, who came with you. Okay. Then you will state why did you come to camp? Then why now then you will in the midst of this add little descriptions. Now you will suspect something wrong. Okay. Will basically suspect something wrong. Then you will have climax. Okay, add a little description. Okay. Then you will reach the climax. Something wrong, like more violence. Okay, caused by the nomads. You hid in the cave, struggled. You saw someone injured, and you treated his wounds. Okay, okay. It's better if you say you saw someone from you injured, you saved him, and said the dialogue mentioned. Okay, then you will resolve. Like the embassy of your country interfered, the embassy of your country interfered, people were saved. All right, this way, people were saved, police came, armed forces came, and here you can add a lot of drama. Okay, now mentioning this climax, okay, I will write a story soon. I will write a story soon, inshallah, and then I will share it with you. But first, I need to. So that is it for today. Okay, thank you. Allah Hafiz. And please do subscribe.